Bishop Blunders, Part 3. Yeah, what's going on, part of people, the place to be? I go by the name of the BK Apologist, transmitting all the way live. New York is the city, Brooklyn is the borough. What's good? What's popping? Glad to see everybody in the building. We got Adrian Jones on the check-in. Thank you for coming through, sir. And as always, if you have not yet, everybody's help to do so. You are the street team. Without you guys, no one's gonna know who I am because it's just what it is. um, but if you do like how it goes down, would be the pay top of the chat. Or if you'd like to be a monthly supporter, BK, you can become a Patreon. We get assortment of goodies to enhance your personal Bible study. We got LMBO in the building, Angela J on the check-in. What's good? What's good? So, we're doing this little thing called Bishop Blunders, little series. Of course, when we're talking about the try to substantiate many of their claims, not only with scripture, but with outside sources as well. And what you're going to see is they apply the same type of eisegetical rendering of what they do to the biblical text. They do this with every text. So they're pretty consistent, right? They take things out of context and or they just don't read well and they don't know how to research, and I always feel bad saying that because it sounds so demeaning to say stuff like that. But time and time again, they show us that either they're doing it on purpose, which makes them wicked, or they're just incompetent. So it's between wickedness or incompetence. To be quite honest, that's really the only options we have here. So with that being said, yep, Bishop Blunders Part 3. We're gonna look at a quick video featuring the good bishop, and we'll take it from there. So,
because Malcolm X made a statement, this famous statement. He said they don't persecute us because we are Christians or Muslims. He said they persecute us, they give us hell because we are black. But I beg to defer that statement. Read this.
Roquette's International Thesaurus, established 1834.
What year?
1834.
Where were we brothers in 1834? Slavery. Okay, let's go inside the book. And can you read that for us?
Negro, colored person, black, blackamoor, Jim Crow, slang U.S., darky, Sambo, ebony, the image of God.
Do y'all see that? This is what they know. This is why they persecute us. They said these people are the image of God. This is why they persecute us.
Right, so that's the clip, and they went to this dictionary from the early 19th century, and we'll get to that in a minute. But his conclusion is the reason why people hate us is black people, black, brown, Native American. Said, do y'all see that? This is why they persecute us. They said these people, right? The Negro, the black people, those people are the image of God. This is why they persecute us, right? So let's take a quick look at what he showed from the thesaurus, right? It says Negro, colored person, black, Blackamoor, Jim Crow, right? Darky, Sambo, Ebony, quote, the image of God, dot, 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 cut in ebony. And right next to it is where the quote comes from. This person by the name of Fuller. And then if you notice, there's these dots, it's an ellipse, right? You use an ellipse because you have a large portion of text that you don't want to write down. So you just want to get like some main parts. So you use the ellipse to show people that there was stuff in between these two sentences, right? So where is this quote coming from? This the image of God cut in ebony. Well, it's coming from this book called The Holy State by Thomas Fuller, right? This is from the 1700s. And this is the actual page from which they get the quote from. Now, this is written in a very archaic English, so it'll be kind of difficult for us to really glean what's being said here, unless you are keen on reading archaic English. But fear not, we have a more updated English version of the same quote. So this is where the quote comes from, and this is from chapter 20 of this book, The Good Sea Captain. This is what a good captain would do, right? It says, "In taking a prize, he most prizes the men live whom he takes, though some of them may chance to be Negroes or savages. 'Tis the custom of some to cast them overboard, and there's an end of them. For the dumb fishes will tell no tales. But the murder is not so soon drowned as the men. What is a brother by the half blown nor kinning?" Have no idea what that means. I think that means kin. "A savage have God to his father by creation, though not the church, his mother, and God will revenge his innocent blood. But our captain counts the image of God, nevertheless his image cut in ebony, as if done in ivory, and in the blackest moors he sees the representation of the King of Heaven." So a good captain, during this time, you would have, people working on your boats, and some of these people will be Negroes. And a lot of times they'll be mistreated, thrown overboard, and that's that, because they're nothing more than savages. But the good captain, right? But our captain, the good captain, counts the image of God, nevertheless, his image cut in ebony, as if done in ivory. And in the blackest moors, he sees the representation of the King of Heaven. So a good captain will see this black man the same way you would see the white man. The image that's cut in ebony is the same as it is cut in ivory. And it doesn't matter how black this individual is, they are still a representation of who? The King of Heaven. So early on, right, Bishop makes his claim that this thing that he's quoting from the thesaurus is specifically about black people. But then when you look at the quote itself, he's talking about that black people, those carved from ebony, are the same as those who are carved from ivory. That these black people, like white people, are images of God. It's not just black people. Right? And that's what it is. He doesn't look at the quote. He doesn't see the ellipse. All right. So TJ Israel, vocab is not here, and no one's doing what you're saying. But can you deal with what I'm showing though? Why do you think, TJ, that the good bishop didn't check the quote? Would you like to answer that, TJ? You know, and it's funny you should use the term clown because, well, that's kind of what the bishop's been acting as of late when it comes to these sources. So, you know, say what you want about other people. We're talking about the bishop here. And the bishop constantly does what I just shown the chat. He takes sources and he, either he misrepresents, pulls them out of context, and doesn't do his due diligence. Because the quote, it's a quote. And they cite where the quote's coming from. But, he can't be bothered because, he has an agenda. He has an agenda. So, and in the end, he doesn't represent the quote. Because the quote, it's not just talking about black people who are images of God. And they are. We are. But it's also saying that the good captain recognizes both those carved in ebony and ivory as representation of the King of Heaven. So the good bishop would make a bad captain, according to Mr. Fuller. He wouldn't be a good captain at all. So, and that's why I just want to share with you guys. Keep it nice and short. Please share this video as much as you can. It'll be a quick, just a few minutes. It doesn't take long to refute people who refuse to read in context, who refuse to have a proper research methodology. So with that being said, this is BK signing off. Peace.